Guys, I've got two things to start with on today's podcast. Number one, I am sorry. I'm sorry that I've been absent for the past couple of months. To be fair, about 7 people listen to this podcast anyway, so to those 7 people, I am sorry. We're going to be back with a lot more regular content. We have had so much client work to do, so many events. It's just been so busy, so we've prioritised our energy into growing the enterprise. As you guys know, unless you have a really big following on YouTube, there's not really any money to be made on this platform. I make this content for value for you guys, for me to have an opportunity to talk about things that I think is important, but certainly not to actually make anything. I think in my YouTube career, I've made $190 in AdSense. Not really going to change my life, to be totally honest. The second thing I want to say is we're now recording from the new Growth Gators HQ. We've moved into a new office in the city centre of Glasgow, beautiful loft conversion in a really cool listed building. So the room that we're in just now is our dedicated recording studio. You can't see it, but I'm surrounded by loads of fancy lights and soundproofing boards, and my desk in the corner with my iMac and a big black wall here. And then next door, just down the corridor, I've got a really big, awesome new office for the team as well. So really exciting times here for us at Growth Gators. Now I was thinking, first podcast back, what do I do? Emotional, impactful, powerful, or do I go down the practical business help route? And I think you guys maybe need some practical business help. So I've got some stuff on my mind that I want to talk about today. We're going to be talking about getting the most out of your meta ads. There's so many people out there who run ads on Facebook, run ads on Instagram, just any of the meta platforms. It's semi-user friendly, also kind of not. So I'm just going to talk about a few different ways for the next 15, maybe 20 minutes or so that you can optimize your traffic on Facebook as a beginner or someone who's maybe not super skilled. And then next week's podcast, I'll make it one that's going to make you think about your ex-girlfriend or that person you know that died, or some type of emotional hook inside of it to try and motivate you to do something, or potentially to cry into your pillow at night time. So first things first, if you're not advertising on Facebook, you're not doing any paid advertising, just as a small touch point, I really recommend that you start, or it's something you look at really soon and take pretty seriously. It's getting easier and easier to acquire customers. That doesn't strictly mean cheaper. Traffic will get expensive or more expensive as time goes on, but it's really easy to reach your target customers online. It's pretty much 99% of what we do at Growth Gators is building systems for ourselves, for our own client acquisition, or for our clients to acquire their clients, doing this with digital marketing. A soundproofing board just fell off the ceiling and I shit myself. I've spent hundreds of thousands of pounds of my own personal money on Facebook ads in just like the last year or two. I don't think I've broken £1 million of spend personally across my career. In fact, I don't think I'm even super close to it. But in terms of my own spend plus customer spend, yeah, we're definitely way past that now. So I have enough experience in building teams and working with other ad managers and media buyers and just doing my own stuff and my own mistakes that I think I can talk about this a little bit. Now, there's a few key things that loads of people get wrong when it comes to running profitable traffic on Facebook and Instagram. The reason I'm talking today about Facebook and Instagram is, one, it's where I've always had the highest outsized returns. Number two, it's where I've spent the most money. And number three, it's where I've got the most experience. I know how to run ads on Google. I know how to build Google campaigns. I know how to build YouTube campaigns, whatever it may be. I just don't have the same level or quality of result. It doesn't mean a bad result. I just get more from Facebook. That's not me saying that your business will be the same. I'm just more qualified to talk about the meta-based platforms. So the first thing that people get wrong is they use the boost post, right? So when you're on Instagram, just like on your phone, or Facebook on your phone, and you make a post from your business or any business account, you'll see that there's a boost post function. I can't tell you how many times I sit down with business owners and I say to them, oh, hey, you should really think about starting to run ads on Facebook or run ads on Instagram. And they're like, oh, hey, I do. I already run ads there. I ask to see their ad manager. We open their ad manager and there's nothing there because what they're doing is boost post and that doesn't show up as ads. Now, that being said, I think this is a tactical move from Facebook. Ad Manager is a little bit fidgety. Boost Post is really super easy. So when people go to start running ads, they choose the path of least resistance and they do Boost Posts. I'm not going to spend ages talking about this because I want you guys to just take my bloody word for it so I can get through more stuff in this video. But Boost Posts are crap. They are not running ads, they are running boost posts. It's two totally different things. They are more expensive, they're less targeted, you get less data. Every single metric minus setting them up being so easy is negative, right? So if you are running boost posts just now, it's going to harm the organic performance of your account. It's just going to do nothing good for you. Your first couple of times boosting will be good, just like I'm sure your first couple of times taking heroin is pretty good as well. The next thing you know, you're offering, illicit favours on your local high street to be able to buy drugs and a double cheeseburger. It's the same with boost posts, right? Your first couple of times, Facebook will push traffic to you, Instagram will push traffic to you. Oh, Richard was wrong, my results are amazing. I am the one person in the world that this is going to consistently work for. And on the third time and the fourth time, costs skyrocket. When you're not boosting, your account is dead, so that you think that the only thing you can do is boost to get results. So I want you to delete that out of your head right now. As a beginner, you're not thinking about boost posts, you do not want to do boost posts. If you're running them, honestly, I would recommend turning them off right now. That's how serious I am about the boost post side of things. So that's boxed off at the start. That's mistake number one. Number two is you guys try and scale your spend too fast. So I'm going to assume that you know how to get onto Facebook Ad Manager. If you don't, there's going to be YouTube tutorials out there. I'm just talking about once you're inside there. People try and scale their spend way too fast. So they start spending a really modest amount of money, £10 per day, £20 per day. If you're in dollars, yeah, like $20, $30 a day. And they start to get some leads. Maybe you're using something like the Facebook Instant Form. So also referred to, another soundproofing board just fell off and I shit myself again. The Facebook lead form is often referred to as. So if you're using stuff like them, they're getting great results again. They were really bad for a little while, like really, really bad for a little while. And now they've made a resurgence, even to the point that we're using them now at Growth Getters for our own campaigns, not just clients, for our own campaigns. They've got way, way, way better. So if you're running £10, £20 per day in ads, you can generate, 15, 20 leads a week that, yeah, not all of them are going to be qualified, but, you're still going to be able to make some good money running those leads. So you start to think to yourself, it's the same way you buy a crypto and it goes up by 10% and 20% and 30%, you think, wow, if I just put my whole life savings into this and I could keep those 10, 20, 30% returns all the time, that would be amazing. You put your whole life savings into it and then you lose everything, right? This is how you destroy a campaign. What people do is they have a campaign that's showing promise. It's on 10, 20, £30 a day or dollars. They decide, oh, well, I could get a full-time salesperson and I could stop doing the sales myself and I could, go and buy a supercar when I get even more leads in and we could sell so much. And, they take the £20 a day that gets them 15, 20 leads a week and they make that £200 a day. And they expect the £200 a day is going to turn that to, 10x the results, 150 or 200 leads a week. And they look and then they realize, oh my goodness, my cost of client acquisition, my CAC has increased so much. My lead quality is dropping. My lead cost is like 5-6 times what it was before. I thought I was just going to 10x my spend and get 10x more out. There's a logic to increasing your budget on these ads, and I'll give it to you just now. I'll break it down how we increase budgets at Growth Getters. We never increase any single campaign's budget by more than 25% any one time. So if we have a campaign that we're spending £1,000 a day on and we want to increase that, we're not going to make it £2,000 a day to double our leads or 3,000 to triple our leads, because that's just not how these systems work. They build audiences based on the budget and the demographic and the location and all that kind of stuff. So when you double it, it really throws that audience into disarray and it will go back into learning phase as it would with any type of budget. And when you're in a learning phase, that's not a bad thing. Every ad goes through a learning phase. Any major change made in an ad is going to put it back into a learning phase. So that's just part and parcel of doing ads on Meta, right? But what people do is they do such a big budget change that it throws it basically into a learning phase that makes it a whole new ad. Because you're doubling your budget, you're going to have to acquire a much larger size of audience. It's like basically a new ad. So 25% at a time. Now that doesn't mean 25% a month. And you're thinking to yourself, how do I double my ad spend? It's going to take me months and months of doing this. You increase it by 25%. You wait 7 to 10 days, you're out of learning, you see if the results maintain or stay there or thereabouts. As you increase your budget, your cost of acquiring leads is going to increase. It's not going to dramatically increase, but it is going to cost more. It's just the net amount of leads you get is higher, right? So you will expect it to increase slightly, but if you're still getting leads at a good price, after those 7 to 10 days, increase it by 25% again. So it's now 25% of your 1250 using my analogy, which will make it, 1500 and something. And then in 7 to 10 days, you can increase it again. It also means that any of those points, as you're gradually increasing, if you start to get worse results, you then can look at optimizing the campaign. Okay, is the video burning out a little bit? Is the static creative not doing so well? When I say creative, I just mean the media that's used in the ad. Video creatives or static creatives. Static's just like an image or a photo or a design, right? Is that the thing that's the issue just now? Is it the copywriting? Is there something broken on my website and my landing page? Is it just not optimized for traffic? Like, what's going on here that is making this not perform the way that it was before? You can optimize, you get your results back to where you want them to be, and then you increase your budget again. You are only 4 weeks, 5 weeks away from doubling your budget correctly, maintaining good results, now having a healthy, scaled ad campaign, right? So let's not make sure to get too excited when we start to see promise from an ad campaign and we start going mental and rapidly increasing our ad budgets because we think that, however, the multiples of our increase is going to be the same multiple of our increase in leads. It's just not going to be the same. So I would recommend you follow that same kind of scaling matrix that I explained there, because that will really help you with your campaigns going forward and make sure that you don't accidentally destroy them. Now, another thing that I always say, point number 3, I think I'm going to make 4 points today, maybe 5. Point number 3 is I want you guys to start setting and forgetting. Make the ad live and do nothing for at least a week. When you make the ad live and then you look at it and it's your first couple of campaigns, or maybe I should have said that differently, I'll go and change that. Maybe I don't like that image so much and it's been up for 2 hours and I've not had any results, let me change that. If you're working with a modest budget at the start, which by the way is a good strategy, I actually find it's worse to start an ad on like 500-600 quid a day, on a new ad account. You're almost like making Facebook have an expectation that that's just like what you spend, right? That might not be true, but that's how I feel, right? So it's counterintuitive actually to have a big budget at the start. So you should start with a modest budget, and you're just constantly editing the ads, right? The ads are in learning, and every time as they're going through the learning phase, every time you make a change, you knock it back to the start. Liken this to a person if you ask them to do something. If you said, oh, pick up that thing and move it to that side of the room, and they've done it. In fact, actually, if you pick it up and move it to the other side of the room, right, okay. Pick it up and start moving it again, and as they're walking, you say, actually, no, take it back to there. How long until that's going to burn out and that person doesn't want to do that thing anymore and doesn't want to move the thing? You're not even giving the ad a chance to leave its learning phase, and you're constantly changing. You're never going to identify an audience. You're never going to find a good pool of traffic for you to actually start extracting leads from. You're just constantly keeping the ad in its infancy, in its learning phase. You're not going to get any big benefit from it, right? So what I want you to do is, unless it's a spelling mistake or a chronic mistake, you've put in the wrong link or whatever, and you need to change something. The next time you do an ad, I want you to check over it, make it live, and don't touch it for at least 7 days. If you're spending 10, 20 quid a day, what's the worst that happens? Oh, the ad's crap and it's 140 quid that you've lost, right? But we need to start setting our ads and leaving them, letting them get out of learning, letting them identify an audience, and then deciding whether you want to change something or whether it's not good enough. If you have a couple of these campaigns going at one time, 3 of them, and you run them all for 7 to 10 days, you're going to find one that's stronger. Kill the other 2, take the spend from those and put them into the one that is stronger using that gradual scaling metrics, and start to spend more money on the campaign that's working, showing the best results. It's actually pretty simple when you dial this stuff down, right? So I want you to really think about setting and forgetting about your ads, and no longer, you're going in and constantly changing stuff and constantly making tweaks and constantly editing your ads, because you're basically going to put that ad into a permanent phase of learning, which nobody wants to be in, especially you, the business owner. Because remember, Facebook don't make any more or less money whether you get crap results or great results. So they're motivated to give you great results. And this gets on to my 4th point. If you are not an experienced ad manager, and even if you are, you might want to listen to this. Stop selecting manual campaigns. Just use the Facebook Advantage Plus system. Make the audience really broad. This is basically point number 5. I'm going to collateralize these. People start putting in too many specific interests. Oh, this age range and this interest and that interest. And next thing they've got 25 interests, and it's just so much. If you're going to use as many interests as that, make it broad. just now, for you guys out there who maybe aren't super well versed in running ads on Facebook, and by the way, the Facebook Ads Manager, which is obviously now Meta Ads Manager, I just historically always call it Facebook, that's where you manage your Instagram traffic as well, right? And you can manually choose to just show to Facebook, just show to Instagram. I don't think you should. Don't choose manual campaign, choose Advantage Plus. As soon as you start making the campaign, it's going to give you that option. Advantage Plus is basically Facebook's system to try and find your leads cheaper. And like I said, Facebook's motivation is for your ads to do well so that you spend more money on ads. They don't make, it's not a casino. They don't make more money by you doing worse. They make more money by you spending more. So their desire is for you to do better, for you to make more money from your ads. How rare is it that you get a business that actually wants you to do better so that you spend more money with them? It's not something that's very common, right? So I want you to think about using that Advantage Plus system a little bit more. Less targeting, be more broad. And the sentence that I love to use is let Facebook do its thing. Just let it work. They spend billions developing these types of systems, right? Let it work and see what it does. Because when you start going, oh, I'm going to build a manual campaign and I only want it to show up in these placements and only want to show it to these people, you might not have enough skill to actually build a manual audience just yet. When Advantage Plus goes through changes and goes through updates, sometimes its performance wavers. So me and my team, we will go back to building manual campaigns because we know how to. But for you guys right now, if you're someone listening to this or watching this on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whatever it may be, you maybe want to just use the Advantage Plus. Just let Advantage Plus run, do its thing, build some clean cut ads, it's just go and use Canva's Magic Studio. Even iPhones these days, you can record in 4K Ultra HD on an get a little ring light and record some ads. There's no excuse for bad content these days, and start running your traffic to it. Leverage stuff like ChatGPT and all those kind of things to help with ad scripts and to help with copy for your ads and stuff like that as well, because this stuff all matters. It's not just creative that wins. It's not just the video, the media asset that's there, the writing, the optimization of your landing page. All that stuff really does help. But for now, you just need to get the traffic right. If you can get the traffic right, which is 90% more than other people in your sector, likely, if you can just get the traffic right, you're really close to winning, really close to winning. And you could get a massive result from your ads. So take those points, maybe write some notes down and think about approaching this with your own ads. And look, by the way, if you want to learn more about running ads and you want to get access to better resources, that's what we do at Growth Getters. Yeah, we pretty much mostly work with only UK businesses, and especially with our education, with our agency services. Yeah, we go all over the world for anyone that needs the service, right? And this podcast is not for me to sell. That's never why I created this podcast. It's for me to talk and have interesting conversations, often with myself, but sometimes with other people as well. But if you want more help, growthgetters.com, go and have a look at what we do. We definitely can help you do this stuff. But what I've given you here today in this 15, 20 minutes, I don't even know how long it's been, it will help you make a drastic difference. You would spend thousands on an online course that would tell you less than this to try and sell you into another crappy program, right? So apply this stuff, go and use it. If you think you've got value from today's episode, please give it a thumbs up, give it a 5-star rating, whatever the positive metric is on the platform that you're interacting with me on. Please, I would absolutely love that. I would love if you would subscribe, if you would follow. That just lets me know I'm doing an okay job and encourages me to keep making this kind of content. So go out there, tweak your ads, do better, make more money. If you see me in the street and I helped you make more money, give me a high five and I'll be happy. Peace.